Hi, it's Ava. I'm sitting out in one of my favorite little places on the front porch and was going to talk a little bit about acknowledgement. I had a friend over Friday night and he was talking about how he sometimes gets so tired of being like this old man, because he's in his 60s, that's so old. Not at all. And how he still can't believe how much approval, acknowledgement that his ego still craves, that he finds himself still being like he doesn't feel like he's okay, that he's all right, even after all these years, all these lessons that he's learned. And so anyway, I had a similar experience for myself today. Have been in touch with some old colleagues from when I used to work in humanitarian and international operations around the globe, and asked where this old colleague of mine was, who basically was one of the most wonderful people that I had the privilege of working with for many years. And he's since sort of moved on, also had a big life change, kind of like I have. I sort of joked like we must win the award for being the most burnt out people from that company. Anyway, I was sent an email when he was leaving the company. You always sort of do a reflection and thank people. And I was surprised to see all sorts of names listed except mine. He even hadn't mentioned that I had been the one to hire him. He'd mentioned our old boss, who actually I'd been in touch with recently. But I had this it was like a dart in my heart, realizing that he hadn't gone and acknowledged anything that I thought that we had shared. And it hurt me. But I also realized, wow, there's a part of me too that still is craving acknowledgement, approval, even from people that I'm no longer really connected to and in touch with. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and what, as a goddess woman, we can do in those moments. Because we're human, right? We want to feel loved and supported by people, even people that we're not necessarily connected to. We want to believe that that time together was a time that mattered, that it was a time that what we felt was happening with each other actually was going on, that there was this connection. We certainly hear about that in couples, but it's not just couples, it's friends, it's colleagues, it's people who cross our paths. So what I did was kind of had this moment where I was like, wow, this really is hurting, and I could feel kind of that dart in my solar plexus area, that part of your diaphragm that gets sometimes tight. In Chinese medicine, we talk about that's the place where we walk in the world, where we feel either supported or not. Like when you feel kicked in the gut, that's generally in that place. So I basically just brought his sort of image to mind and sent something very, very simple, which was, I thank you for the role that you are still playing for me. Go in peace. All is forgiven and released. And I just took a deep breath, because for me, energy tends to rise when we make that kind of an intention. So I'm just going to breathe again. So when you have those moments where you're feeling that pinch from someone, that's a really good affirmation. But the other one is to just tell yourself that you're okay. Something as simple as even just holding that diaphragm gives some attention to it, gives it some extra energy. But we can also be, like I said, loving to ourselves and be like, human? Wow, that's a human part of me that's still seeking that. And that's okay. I don't have to go and move from that place. I can just let it go. I can bless that person. I can bless that past. Sometimes we don't know the full reason that somebody's acting in a certain way, and it really isn't our business, as one of my good friends says. Their choices are theirs, and how we respond and how we react are ours. So if you're having those moments where you're seeking approval, feeling not so acknowledged, or like my friend being like, gosh, aren't I just over this yet? Or even like I was today, like, wow, there's still a part of me that feels like she wants to be acknowledged for the role that she played in someone's life, or at least the role that she thought she played, that you can just bless it and you can let it go, and leave that sort of where it was. Have the fond memories, but not necessarily have to walk from that. So that's our little goddess chat today. Goddess Guides continue to support all sorts of people all around the world. It's been really great to hear from so many people. And if you're looking for any extra help, just go and check out the Goddess Guides on my website and see which book resonates if you haven't read them all yet, and move from there. But know that you are a goddess woman. You are wonderful, and that the divine supports you, and that you are worthy of every blessing in the world. And I certainly bless you today for sharing this with me. Have a good one. Ava, here and out.